My name is Mama Stula and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, do well to hit the subscribe button, and if it's not, if you're a returning subscriber, thank you. So on my last video I talked about myself and the essence of this YouTube channel. This is something I wanted to start a long time ago, but I was holding back a bit for some reasons, and I feel like it's now time to do it, to help people, or rather other people who want to embark on the same journey I am on right now. So like I said previously, I am going to the UK sometime in August, and I'm going for my master's degree in logistics and supply chain management at Sheffield Hallam University. So I'm going to be talking about the entire process detailed. That's why I have a little note here so I don't miss out anything. I started in August last year, and the original plan was to study nursing. So I applied to University of Sunderland University. I can't even remember the name again. I think it's University of Sunderland. Sorry, pardon me. And at that time they had some sort of glitch in their network, so they did not even get back to me on whether or not the admission was given, but I applied for nursing. Now, the reason for applying for nursing, I did a lot of research on staying back in the UK, job perspectives, and courses that's actually relevant and needed. And NHS courses are honestly the ones that I can say, okay, these are more or less sure bankers for you to stay back, because the plan is to stay back and not to come back to Nigeria or your home country for most people. So I needed something that would make me have a good job after school, after that's the program there, and then stay back in the UK, and not just stay back, but stay back to be doing something meaningful and something that is worth my time and my stress. So that's why I now opted to do nursing. I was actually considering social work in it before even the nursing. That was when I got to find out you can actually do nursing whether or not you studied nursing or even science related subject in your first degree. But I will do a video and I would explain that, because I did a lot of research on the whole nursing MSc street thing before I applied. So I'm going to do that video maybe on the next, or subsequently I'll do that video. So back to my story. So I applied to Sunderland University for nursing BSc, not even MSc. I wanted MSc, but my sister kind of talked me out of it. She felt like BSc would have been better. So after a lot of thinking, I was really skeptical about the whole BSc thing, but I finally made up my mind to do the BSc nursing, and I applied to only Sunderland. I think that was also a mistake I did on my part. I would have applied to as much universities as possible. I probably would have gotten it, but it's still all good. And then Sunderland's website was hacked that period, because it was down for a couple of days. And even when I went to their Instagram page, I could see a lot of other students complaining about a similar thing. So I don't even know if the admission went through, but they sent me an email stating that more like a confirmation email that they've received my application. I had the student number and all of that, but what I never got was whether I was accepted or I was rejected. And I met all the requirements, sent in all my documents and all that, but I was a bit sad about it. I wrote my personal statement to suit the nursing, did everything I could do, and at the end of the day it didn't come. But that's by the way. So I called the agent that is helping me, or even before I called the agent, somebody said my sister reached out to someone who advised I do something else. Then it's easier to study nursing when you're already there. So it's also another option for me to do something else before studying the nursing, if I eventually want to do the nursing. And I was advised to go for a course that has placement. So even at that time, I I wasn't sure if I wanted to now spend 2 years when the end goal is actually nursing, because as at that point I was willing to settle for that option, but I wanted something that is 1 year, so I'll finish and then go to study nursing almost immediately. But then again, I now thought about the whole thing, had a rethink, and decided to opt for the 2 year course. That's when I applied to study logistics and supply chain management. And before that, back to the nursing. When I didn't hear from Sunderland, I applied to I think Dundee. I applied to 3 other schools, but right now I can't really remember the names of those schools. But I didn't follow through with those admissions, so I don't even know if my agent applied, because I didn't apply by myself. But as at that point, I'd already made up my mind to do something else, which is logistics and supply chain. And for logistics and supply chain, I'm even overqualified, if I do say so myself. So it wasn't a problem getting the admission. I got the admission very fast. So I submitted all the documents required, and I'm still going to outline the document that I used. I wrote my personal statement, and on another video I'm going to talk about personal statements in a more detailed way. And then my original WAEC, I wrote it down so I don't forget anyone. I had to go and apply for my transcript, my original result, my passport data page, my CV, my reference letter, and then the reference letter, you're going to get it either from your school or your employer. But what I'm not sure is if it has to be from both, or the school can give you, two of your lecturers could give you the reference. But I used 2 references, one from my previous work and one from my university. Now, for the things I stated here, the truth is you don't need everything at a go. If you don't have all these documents, it's fine. You can actually go ahead. I don't know about other people, but the person that did mine for me, and you can actually go ahead and submit what you have. But while you're doing the process, you have to look for a way to get the other documents. Now, this is what happens when you submit whatever document you have, and let's say it's not complete. You're going to be given an unconditional offer letter. Sorry, a conditional offer letter, not unconditional, meaning there are things that you need to still submit or clarify. So in my own case, I applied to Sheffield Hallam University. I applied to I applied to Salford University and University of Bradford, or Bradford University, and all 3 of them gave me the admission. But I think my agent made a mistake and they applied for 1 year MSc instead of 2 years as I wanted. So when Bradford came, they said they don't have options for 2 years. So I didn't bother finding out, because initially I wasn't so sure if it was a mistake from the school or from my agent. So it was when Sheffield Hallam and Salford came, I realized they all gave me 1 year while I specifically asked for 2 years. So I reached out to my agent, and I think that was when I confirmed the mistake was from whoever did the processing of the admission. So I sent an email to Salford telling them that I want a 2-year MSc with placement, and they responded a few days after, and they said they actually do the 2-year MSc with placement, but you would have to reapply after the end of the first year MSc. So it didn't really sit well with me, because I didn't want to go through that paperwork again, and I don't even know, and it didn't even sound like assuring, unlike other schools that you're seeing on your admission letter, 2 years MSc. So I called my agent, and then she said Sheffield Hallam representatives were coming to her. She said Sheffield, sorry. So she said somebody's making noise here. So she said Sheffield Hallam University is coming to her office, and she was going to tell them to change it. So when they came, they were able to change it. And then as at that point, they sent me an email, but not another offer letter. They sent me an email suggesting it's been changed and all that. So when I had that confirmation, I had to go for Sheffield Hallam instead of Salford University. Now, University of Salford or Salford University, they have it as procurement, logistics, and supply chain management. Bradford University has it as logistics, data analytics, and supply chain management. If I'm not mistaken, I'll still check that. Then Sheffield Hallam University has it as logistics and supply chain management, but it's the same thing, just different names and different packages. So when I got the offer letter stating 2 years, I decided to go for Sheffield Hallam University, and I left University of Salford and Bradford University. So that was how I landed the logistics thing. After you get the offer letter, the next thing I did was to pay my fees, because with the initial offer letter I had was a conditional offer letter. So after I submitted, because I had some discrepancies with my date of birth on my WAEC certificate, and my name, I had a change of name some time ago because of Vivian, and I had that discrepancy too because my name wasn't carrying the name on my passport. I had removed my middle name from my documents, even though my original certificate, everything carries that name. At some point, I had to take off my middle name, and I did a newspaper publication and all of those things. But my name, for some reason, I think I did it before I removed my middle name. So my name, that's my national identification number. It carried the old name, my first name, my middle name, and my surname. So those discrepancies were on my conditional offer letter, and I needed to clarify those things. So I just did spread an affidavit. It's something that is very easy. The same day you get it, and then I sent it back to my agent, who in turn sent it to their office. And after a while, the unconditional offer letter was given, and then that was when I proceeded to do my school fees payment, which I'm still waiting for. I did the payment last week. So for the fees, I filled out the Form A. The Form A is like I'm not sure what body controls it, but I know it's something monetary trade. I'm not so sure about that, but you fill the Form A. I had 3 options. Either I do a direct wire transfer, which is with the Form A, or I use Western Union or Flywire. But I'll go into more details on the payment options, and which I think is best from my experience and other people's experiences. So I can't really talk much about that because I'm still in the process of paying the school fees. Then I was sent an email shortly after with a lot of red inks, very important email stating things I need to do, and I was fortunate enough because I got an email stating I need to do a tuberculosis test, which I've already booked an appointment for. But the tuberculosis test is only done by IOM. I don't know the full meaning of the acronym, but IOM approved centers. It's something that has to do with immigration. And unfortunately, or fortunately for some people like me, or unfortunately rather, it's only done in 3 states in Nigeria: Lagos, Abuja, and Benin. So fortunately, I am in Abuja right now, and when I got the email, I had to extend my stay, so I would have to wait till I do the tuberculosis test on 12th of May. So I can't really say much about that test other than the fact that I had to book online until I do the test. So when I do the test, I'm probably going to do another video and tell you how that went, if possible, if I could do some sort of recording. And again, my passport, another thing, my passport had 1 year 10-month validity left, and mind you, I'm going for a 2-year program, and chances are I may not be coming back anytime soon. So I had to call somebody at immigration, and I found out it was possible to extend my passport to renew my passport and make it 10 years. So meaning I had to forfeit 1 year, 10 months, which I paid for, and then I did a 10-year passport. So if you fall under this category, I would advise you do something like that, because I had to call somebody in the UK and I was told it's more expensive to do that in the UK. So I had to do it here before going, and it took just 3 days after the capturing. And now again, renewing or making a new passport, it takes longer than before. You could just walk into the immigration, maybe if you know somebody, and they could do it that day, the express thing. But there's really no such thing as express per se. There's express and there's not express. I will explain now. Normally, when you apply to do the passport, you don't really even apply. You don't necessarily have to do any serious application. You basically just walk in there, they give you their forms to fill, you do your capturing maybe the next day if there's no time. But now when you want to do a new passport, you have to wait 1 month from the day you apply. They will book an appointment 1 month from the day, and that one you can hardly influence it. And even if you want to influence it, you pay as high as 20,000 naira, maybe 25,000, because that was what I was billed if I wanted that option. But I wasn't so much in a hurry, so I opted to wait for 1 month. So basically, and those windows are really rare, they're not open all the time. So, and then you have to know somebody that knows somebody for you to even be able to do that. So in a case where you don't know somebody and you want to wait for a while to do your passport, it's not going to work. You have to do the passport thing now if you really want to use it maybe this year, except you're using it next year and you still have time. But whichever time you want to use it, don't wait until it's too close to the time before you do the passport thing, because you have to wait for 1 month. Now, as at the point you can influence it, and I'm sure you're still going to pay more, is after the capturing. But after the capturing, I think somebody, I don't know how true it is, but somebody told another person I know 6 months, but I don't think that is so true. But I know you have to wait for like 3 weeks, 2 months for your passport to be out if you want to do it the normal way. But if you want it express, then I think it's 3 to 5 days before you get it. But I'm not sure if you can still get it same day. But then that 1 month is like, it's static. You can't influence the 1 month. You have to wait for the 1 month for you to do your capturing. And you know how Nigeria is. Even when you do it for the 1 month, they give you an appointment. Like my appointment was for 2 o'clock, but I didn't do it at 2 o'clock. And that place, it's more like everybody needs to know somebody and everybody has a candidate. So everybody's trying to push for their own people to do and go out. So if you have managed to register for your passport, I would advise you go very, very early for your appointment, so you get it. I already have gotten mine, and I'm just waiting for the other things to come through. That's about it for the passport. So like I said, I'm just saying these things based on my own experience. Somebody else might have another experience. This is my own experience so far, and this is where I am at as of today. Right now I'm making this video, so when I do the next step, I'm going to come back and make another video. But then again, I'm still going to make videos on each of these points I stated here. How I did my statement of purpose, the original result thing, and all of those. I'll do another video giving well-detailed explanations of those things and how you need to go about them. So yeah, that is it for today's video. If it was helpful, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. And please feel free to ask me any question you may have, any concerns. And also, please, if there's anything you feel I omitted, kindly drop it. I mean, I'm also still learning. I'm in the process. I don't know anything about these things. I'm just talking based on my personal experience. So there are some things I probably I most likely would have left out, or something I also missed. So please